The first principle is non-binary thinking. And with that, I basically mean you don't want to see things in like black and white terms. There's always like a gray scale in the middle where it's like, all right, here we have completely black, here we have completely white, but then there's still something in the middle. Let me give you an example of this because that will make it way easier to understand. So when it comes to being, for example, an extrovert or an introvert, like let's say we have extrovert here and introvert over here, it's not like in any situation you should just be like, all right, now I'm an extrovert or now I'm an introvert, or you're like completely like, no, I'm only an extrovert or I'm only an introvert. No, you kind of have to switch. It's like a scale. Like maybe you need to be 70% introvert in one situation, like 30% extrovert, whatever it is, right? Um, and that can change. And then maybe you put the scale the other way around or whatever. So sometimes you need to be extroverted, sometimes you need to be introverted. But it's not like you're either this or that. It's kind of like, yeah, those two words are probably great to categorize this, but like everyone is probably somewhere in the middle. Sure, like most, like there are definitely people who tend into like directions like being more introverted, being more extroverted, but like there is no defined answer for like you're completely extroverted or you're completely introverted. Like it's always a scale. Like people are always somewhere on this scale, so to speak, right? Maybe not everyone is in the middle, but everyone is somewhere on the scale. Whether they're more on the extroverted side or more on the introverted side, that's obviously less something we can look at then. But that's basically non-binary thinking. You want to have this with everything. You don't want to see things in like black and white. Like there were only two answers, so to speak. You want to always be open to the idea of there being like God knows, almost unlimited answers, right? This can be really, really powerful when you combine this with principle number two, which is basically first principle reasoning, which basically is the ability to ask why until you can't really figure out an answer anymore, or like just break it down until you can't really explain it any further, so to speak. And I think it's also called like Socratic reasoning, if I'm not mistaken. But basically, like let's say we ask you, for example, you ask yourself right now, like, why do you want to own a martial arts school? And then you may come up with like, all right, why do I want to own a martial arts school? Well, I love martial arts and I like jujitsu, and I kind of want to help the people in my community get more in shape. And I truly think like jujitsu is a great way to get them in shape, to give them confidence, and so just help make their life better because it helped my life. All right, why do you want to make like improve people's lives with jujitsu? Well, because I know how much they're struggling, like because I don't know. I just struggled myself when I was like younger, and then like I just found jujitsu and it's helped me like out of this rut, and I want to give this to other people as well. Bam, you have the answer. So you're basically running your jujitsu gym, for example, because when you were younger, jujitsu helped you out of like a rut or out of like a bad situation, whatever it is, right? And this can be with anything. Maybe like your why. This can go deep, by the way. Like maybe your why is like, oh, I do this because I want to make my dad proud, or because I got bullied when I was like in fifth grade or whatever, right? Um, Whatever it may be. And it's 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 a phenomenal thing to do, especially when you also have like a problem in front of you which you can't really solve, and you just ask yourself why. Like, why should I do this? Because of that. Why? Until you can't like reason it further down. And combining this with like non-binary thinking of like there isn't really one answer only. So like it's the same thing here. If you ask yourself why do you run your dojo, so to speak, it's not like there's only like one answer for why you run your dojo. There are most likely multiple answers for why you run your dojos, right? There are like multiple reasons for why that could come up when you ask yourself why you run your school, right? Now, the third principle here is the most obvious one, to be honest with you, but it's stoicism. It's kind of like just having the ability to not act emotional when things get tough. So let's say you have like 50 students right now, and all of a sudden like 10 leave at once for whatever reason, right? To then still be stoic and still like do the best in this out of this situation, even when hard times hit you, so to speak. And I think you will be the strongest with your school when you combine like all three together. Now, this video obviously wasn't about like, oh, you need to do X, Y, Z to grow your school, but I would rather give you like some principles here that will help you to grow your school. And I'm not even gonna give you like a 20-minute lecture now about stoicism or whatsoever. Just look it up if you don't really know much about it, or the same for first principle thinking or non-binary thinking. Like, just look it up. I think there are plenty of other great videos about it. I'm just telling you, if you combine these three principles when it comes to your school, if you like use them together, and if you integrate them in your life, maybe not just with your school, but like in your personal life or whatever as well, like you will get better and you will eventually make more money. Sure, it may not be like this one quick fix with like this one Facebook ad template and you're like just gonna like crush your Facebook ads next month or whatever. It may take time to really be implemented, but like it will make you more money over the long term, so to speak. And I'm hoping you're into this, not just for the short term, but for the long term. Anyway, so let's throw the 3 principles in again. Non-binary thinking, basically the ability to not see things in black and white, like to just be able to like see, not only see two answers, but to see more answers when there are more answers, so to speak, and to like have the ability to get out of like norm, so to speak, and to see things like this different perspective. It's also hard to explain non-binary thinking, I guess. I guess you will find like even better explanation when you just Google it, so to speak. Second of all, first principle reasoning, Socratic reasoning, just asking why until you can't reason it further down, so to speak. And thirdly, Stoicism, just having the ability to still do the best out of your situation regardless of how hard the times are. And yeah, combine those three together and you will make a lot of money with your school. Click the first link in the description if you want more students for your school, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.